Rain, definitely Rain. I've had relationships for years with both companies. It was great working, especially with Best Acts in the early days. They were really one of the first companies that really took what a small group of us were doing seriously. I don't even want to say a small group, but the technical DJing, the battle DJing, turntablism, is definitely something that was more of an underground cult thing over the years. And at the time, Best Acts really started impacting the scene. They came out with like a '05 Pro mix, and it was like a couple of my boys early on, were helping consult, Shortcut and Rhythmatic, and I think maybe the likes of maybe Qbert even at the time were speaking to this company Best Acts, who were really listening to what, paying attention to what, us and the X-Men and Beat Junkies and the Executioners and Scratch Pickles were doing. And they were the first ones to really, in the 90s come out with something really made specifically what we did. Faders in a layout that really complemented the style of DJing we're doing. Simple, laid out, but smooth and sharp cutting faders and good quality shit, Up until that point, there were other mixers made for what we did. Gemini made a bunch of cool mixers that, from the MX 2200 to, the Scratchmaster series. They even had the Flash Formers, and, they were probably really the first company that made stuff for scratching. But their equipment also, left a lot to be desired. They used, they weren't the best sounding mixers. The lifespan of them, especially doing what we were doing, wasn't that long. They didn't really take a drop too well, and a crackly fader was something that would happen in, within 6 months, a month of getting a brand new mixer, So, I give props to Best Acts for coming in and bringing a lot of quality to the tools that we needed, But as of lately, the last, I don't know how many years, me and the Junkie started a relationship with Rain. We really liked their equipment. They kind of took where Best Acts, I think, left off, and gave us a mixer that's really some high quality American made style equipment. Very simple, straight to the point, but taking no shorts in terms of quality, sound quality, the parts they use and everything, the durability. I can't say enough about my Rain. Them shits last. Unless you just blatantly throw that shit on the ground, or try to make that shit break. Them shits, they really last. And these mixers aren't expensive, and that's the least you'd expect from a manufacturer to make something that's gonna last. Doing what you do with it. You know what I mean? But these days, definitely Rain over Best Acts. The platform. And I say that confidently because they were both two different beasts. As much as Duck Season 1 was, the first part of my series that I've gotten a lot of respect and love for. The first one was the first stage of evolution. That one was the majority of stuff I licensed. At that time I was signed to Sequence Records with Patrick Moxie, and part of that deal was that they had great music licensing abilities. So before I started the series, they were like, make us a list of 30, 40 songs that you'd love to see, and I'm sure we'll come back with at least 25 completed, and then you can work in a mix like that. So I was like, great, this is me coming off of Sound Bombing, coming off of the battle days, just starting things with Dilated. So it was definitely something of Sequence was definitely hype off of what I was doing as a DJ, But at that time I was really starting to get into my production, and I was, even back then I was telling them, I'd love to produce, maybe one or two things exclusively for the project, maybe it pops up on a 12-inch. So, I made the title cut with the beat notes, for that record. And so, and if you've seen the series, it evolved. The second one I produced like half of it, and then the third one, which came out last October, it's pretty much my producer album disguised as a mixtape, So if I compare Volume 1 to the platform, I feel a little more connected to the platform just because it was me putting myself out there as an artist with Evidence and Rock and really working on this album. I only produced a couple joints on it, but we're a very self-contained unit that you know, we really feel as if you lock us three in a room, we're gonna make things happen, whether or not we have beats from someone else, or a guest lyricist, or an engineer or whatnot. We're very self-contained, and it started then, you know. So where Duck Season was more of a, you know, it was a whole bunch of cool songs I liked. It was a mixtape I loved that showed what I like to you know, my taste as a DJ, and show some of my skills, and I slapped some of my beats on there. But the platform is me and my rap group, you know, and I hold that record in a really, really dear spot in my heart, you know. Same with Duck Season also. I choose the platform. Oh, Menace to Society for sure. I love both movies. You know, I must have been a geeky 17-year-old senior in high school, maybe just getting out of high school when I remember seeing both of those movies. But yeah, you know, Boys in the Hood was kind of, I don't think Menace could have existed without Boys coming out first and kind of opening up, you know, the lane for, you know, these kind of stories to be told on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, first and foremost, you know, I give props to John Singleton, and the success of that movie definitely, you know, made it for that kind of, you know, movies to be able to be seen in American cinema or world cinema. But Menace was just more of a real movie to me, you know, especially being in Southern California. You know, I'm not gonna act like I'm from the hood, but I definitely know many brothers who live that lifestyle. And Menace, you know, I think you look at the characters, and if you live in Southern California, even if you don't, but being that I am from Southern California, from LA, you know a gang of those characters. You know dudes like Chauncey. You know dudes like O-Dog. I hope I don't know too many O-Dogs, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? You know, especially at that time that they're painting, you know, gangbanging was crazy, man. It was a real lifestyle that cats lived where, you know, motherfuckers ready to die, you know, over some money, you know what I mean, over a whip or fucking some drugs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Menace was just a real honest take on what was going on at the time. You know, both are movies, and then both of them have that, whatever, you got it, Hollywood sprinkled on it, but Menace was a very real look at, you know, that lifestyle that was going on at that time. But both are dope movies, but Menace is a little bit more critical to me, a little bit more serious, you know what I mean? I don't know. I look back at Boys in the Hood now. You know what? Maybe seeing Don't Be a Menace in the Hood while drinking, you know, that one Wayans. Maybe seeing that ruined both of the movies for me. You know, especially Boys in the Hood. You know, they really killed Boys in the Hood. You know what I mean? Like, you know, motherfucker's dad, kid's named Ashtray. You know what I'm saying? Like, dad's younger than his son. Like, that was ridiculous. Okay, anyway, Menace.